Welcome to Take a Side. I'm your host, Jacob Polacheck, and I'm here with Arkansas basketball signee Moses Moody for our latest segment, 5 Stars, where we take 5 debates from Sided and ask Moses to take a side on each one. Moses spent the last 2 years at Montverde Academy, helping lead the Eagles to a perfect 25-0 record in the 2019-20 season. In the fall, Moses will suit up for Eric Musselman and the Arkansas Razorbacks. All right, Moses, you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so the first question, who is the GOAT? Michael Jordan, LeBron James, or someone else?
Given that I haven't got a chance to I watched The Last Dance and everything, but I haven't watched Michael Jordan enough to really see the good and the bad. All I see is his highlights. I'll go with LeBron by default.
Awesome. All right, so our second question, who wins in a fight? So you went to Montverde and they were the Eagles. Now you're going to Arkansas and they're the Razorbacks. So who wins in a fight? You got the Razorbacks or the Eagles?
I mean, just given that the Razorbacks is a college, so everybody's at a different level of conditioning and physically, I got to go with the Razorbacks.
I'm talking about the mascots themselves. You have a Razorback or an Eagle. Who wins in the fight?
I still think I got to go with the Razorback. Just being stronger, more built, and then just the mentality of a Razorback. I don't see it losing to an Eagle. An Eagle just gonna come in and try to fly away. If a Razorback gets it in his grips and it's over with.
Awesome. All right, next is a little more serious. You got, what is a bigger factor in a college decision, fit or reputation?
I would definitely say fit, because the school can have whatever reputation that it wants, but if it doesn't fit you personally, then you won't be successful there.
Awesome. And so obviously you chose to go the college route. You're going to be going to Arkansas, but had you not chosen to go to college route, what do you think would have been a better option, the G League or going overseas?
I know the G League is switching some stuff up, so they're doing it differently as of now. So I really don't know how that's gonna go. I really have to watch this year and see how that process really works. And then overseas, that's a route that's actually become pretty promising for a lot of top athletes, recruits to go overseas, then come back after a year and just compete against grown men. But that's on both sides. So I'm really not sure yet.
You don't have a side on that one right now?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, because I just don't know what the G League is going to be like.
Mm-hmm. All right. And so the last question, our 5th star, if you could add one attribute to your game, which would you choose? LeBron's playmaking or Giannis's athleticism?
I feel like Giannis, he's athletic, but he's just so long and so that's just his body. So I don't feel like his body type would be more of an attribute than his athleticism. Really, he's definitely a freak athlete. But I would probably go with LeBron's playmaking.
Awesome.
Well, I take that back. Given that I already have a lot of playmaking skills, I take Giannis' athleticism over that.
Cool. All right. So just to recap. So you picked LeBron James as the GOAT in your first debate. You said that a Razorback would beat an Eagle in a fight. You chose fit as the bigger factor in making a college decision. You didn't have an answer between the G League or overseas. Left that one up for interpretation. And for the last debate, you chose Giannis's athleticism. You'll be able to follow Moses next year at Arkansas. And thanks for coming on.
Yeah, bet for sure.
Welcome back to Take a Side. For our lightning round, I'm here with Kasius Williamson, who's going to answer as many questions as he can in the next 3 minutes. Kasius, are you ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's start the clock. All right, first question. What sport is the easiest to pick up at the age of 50, assuming you're in good shape and participated in that sport in high school? Baseball, basketball, golf, or running?
I'd probably say running, like long distance. because at 50, if you're hurt, basketball and baseball is out because that's too much physical. Running, I mean, everybody runs, so I'd probably say running.
All right. If you had to relocate for family or business, which place would be most desirable? Paris, Barcelona, Rio de Janeiro, an RV that you could take anywhere in North America, New York, or other?
I'm going to go with Rio because I'm young and I like to party. So,
awesome. And what is the greatest sports movie of all time? Hoosiers, Rudy, or something else?
I'd say Remember the Titans is the greatest sports movie.
All right. Who's going to win the match? Tiger and Peyton or Phil and Tom?
Tiger and Peyton I'm going with Tiger all the way.
All right. Skiing or snowboarding?
I've never tried either one, but I like Shaun White, so I'm going to go with snowboarding.
All right. Do you give your dog human food scraps? Yes, no, or sometimes?
Sometimes when I don't finish my play, I give it to my dog, or like if I know they like bones and stuff, so I give them chicken bones and stuff.
All right. Which is more noteworthy, Eli Manning retiring or Eli Manning bringing himself into the new millennium and joining Twitter?
I'd probably say Twitter because we have nothing to do, and Eli retiring, he really didn't have a great end. So him joining Twitter has been funny because Tom Brady commented on it.
All right. And which commissioner has been the least effective? Gary Bettman from the NHL, Goodell from the NFL, Rob Manfred from the MLB, Adam Silver from the NBA, or Mark Emmert from the NCAA?
You said the least effective?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know the NBA. I'd probably say Goodell from the NFL because I haven't really seen any like changes from the NFL, but everybody else has called their players and stuff. But I think, or was Goodell on the phone? I don't know. That was a hard question. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
All right. And the last question, is wrestling a sport? Yes or no?
Yes, wrestling is definitely a sport. WWE, yes. Shawn Michaels, The Rock, John Cena, Undertaker, all those are professional athletes.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us for our lightning round, and stay tuned for our next segment. Welcome back to Take a Side. For our featured debate, I'm here with Max McElroy and Marena Sever to debate the NFL's latest 4th and 15 proposal. In the proposal, NFL teams would be able to choose to forego an onside kick and instead attempt a 4th and 15 play from their own 25-yard line when trailing in a game to attempt to retain possession of the ball. The vote next week, NFL owners will vote on the rule and see if it passes. Max, what are your opinions on the rule?
I think this is something that the NFL needs. I think we all just love watching exciting football, and we just love the excitement. Whether it's a good or a bad play, we all gravitate towards the big plays of the game, and that's super exciting. And that's exactly what this proposal will do. It'll just make everything more exciting. And they tried it out in the Pro Bowl this year, and it only happened once, and it ended in an interception. But the thought of a team being able to actually come back in the game when they were down and a chance for them to go for it and then just continue their drive, I think it's perfect for just the sport of football and to keep everyone in it, because normally, if a game kind of gets boring or you kind of know the conclusion of it, you want to, change the channel or go to a different game, the outcome. But then this game it'll make you watch until the very end because no team is ever really out of it again.
Yeah, I think the only way I can see this rule being a positive is as a fan of the NFL, because it does make things more exciting. And if I'm a Chiefs fan, where the Chiefs, a 4th and 15 is like a 1st and 5 for Patrick Mahomes, and he's on Twitter saying it's way too easy, whereas there are other teams where it's not. But if you're talking about the integrity of the game, I think this rule is not a horrible idea, but I don't want it to pass the way that it's currently written, because the thing with an onside kick is that it is pure luck, which means you have, no matter if you're the Chiefs or if you're the Dolphins, have a pretty equal chance of recovering an onside kick. Whereas if you're trying to convert on 4th and 15, that is astronomically easier for some teams than it is for others. So it's no longer even. And also, onside kicks are only recovered about 10% of the time. And I think 4th and 15s over the last 5 years have been converted around 24%. So you're making it significantly easier. And it should be hard. You're trying to steal back a possession to have a last shot at winning a game that you've been losing the whole time. So I don't know. I don't think it's a horrible idea to introduce an alternative to the onside kick, especially since after they changed the rules that you can't get a running start, it's become a lot harder to recover an onside kick. So I'm not opposed to introducing an alternative, but I think the alternative as it stands now, 4th and 15 is too easy. If you're talking about the integrity of the game, if I'm a fan, I would love to watch something like this. I just don't think the rule is right as it stands.
Well, to your point about that is you're on your own 25-yard line. So there is real risk if you don't get that 4th down. The other team's going to have the ball back on the 25-yard line, and you're in the situation where they can take a knee field goal or score another touchdown, whatever. But the NFL has kind of moved in an offensive path over the last few years, especially with all the new rules about not touching the quarterback and the way you have to tackle them, and it's just been moving in a pro offense direction. And I think this 4th and 15 is just a perfect amalgamation of everything that's been happening in the league and how it is moving more into an offensive direction. And so who wouldn't want to see, again, and I think when you said it's great for the fans, I also think it's great for the players too, because with the onside kick rule, they changed that rule, and then they also made it where you can't stack people on one side. You have to have an even amount of people on both sides. And again, that's for safety. And like the odds of getting an onside kick are astronomical, where it doesn't make it really exciting. I mean, how many times in a big game have you seen an onside kick be recovered? It's not very rare, but on a 4th and 15, I think it's even more of a toss-up. And I think the odds of it, like you said, 24%, I think the odds of it being a little more likely will just make it more exciting and, give teams kind of the energy that they're still in the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think an onside kick can be exciting. I mean, when the Saints attempted it I think it was the Super Bowl, the other team wasn't expecting it. They recovered. That was exciting to watch. And I think the fact that it's a last chance game, it's equally as exciting as when the quarterback lobs up a Hail Mary, because it is like a give or take, like you're either going to get it or you're not, and then that's the game in the air. And to your point about it being a high risk, high reward, I understand that it's a higher risk because you're getting the chance to steal back a possession without the other team's offense even having to take the field in between your last possession. And it's a high risk because if you don't get it, the other team's going to recover it at the opposing team's 25-yard line. But to that point, I think 9 times out of 10, if you're at the point where you need to attempt an onside kick, it's for the game. And if you don't get the onside kick, you're going to lose the game. So it doesn't really seem, I get the whole high risk thing, but if you're at the point where you need to attempt a 4th and 15, to convert a 4th and 15 to win the game, why would it matter if the team is going to recover the ball at the 25-yard line, because you're going to lose the game if you don't convert that 4th and 15. So that to me just seems a little bit weird. And I think it'll be interesting, especially since the NFL, I think it was just yesterday, reduced the language that, or got rid of the language that you have to be trailing in order to use this 4th and 15 conversion rule. So since they got rid of that and even a winning team can use it now, I think it'll be interesting to see how coaches like, Bill Belichick use the rule to kind of leverage it to their advantage in a way that wasn't originally intended when the rule was written, because I can definitely see offensive masterminds like that having, finding loopholes and finding ways to use it to their advantage, which is not what the rule was intended to do.
Definitely, yeah. There's going to be a lot of coaches, especially with, very pass-friendly offenses like Chiefs, the Cardinals
right.
are there. It's going to be a lot easier for them to get it than my Vikings, just a running heavy team. So that's not going to be very I don't think I would count them in if they're doing a 4th and 15 from the 25 to win. Actually, Kirk Cousins was the one in the Pro Bowl who threw that interception when he went for it on 4th and 15 in the Pro Bowl. So that definitely won't happen. But I'm really intrigued to see if this passes, because I think it would just make the game, it would just tread in the direction that the whole NFL is going. And it's just offense, score a lot of points. It makes it the most exciting.
Yeah, I think maybe trying it out during preseason, if that ever happens with all the stuff that's going on right now, would be an interesting way to kind of see how it pans out and how it's used and how it works. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not opposed to the introduction of an alternative to an onside kick, because especially after they changed the rules that you can't get a running start, it is significantly more difficult to recover an onside kick. But again, to counter my own point, it should be difficult. You're trying to steal back a possession. It should not be easy. And a 4th and 15 conversion makes it significantly easier. It's not easy in and of itself, but when compared to and juxtaposed to an onside kick, it is easier to convert a 4th and 15 than it is to recover an onside kick, especially for teams like the Chiefs. I mean, if I'm a fan and I'm watching the Chiefs and the Ravens in a down-to-the-wire game where Patrick Mahomes has the ball against Baltimore's defense, I would love to see this. I mean, this 4th and 15 conversion attempt pan out in a game like that. It'd be awesome. But I don't know. I just think it gives teams that have been losing the chance to come back and steal back a game. It makes it too easy. I think an onside kick is, I don't know.
Well, and to that though, it's if they convert that 4th down, they have the ball, but they still have whatever it would be. They'd get the ball in the 40, so they would still have 60 yards to go after that. And so it's not like it's just handed to them, but the odds of getting an onside kick have been almost improbable. And so to the point of just like making it a little more likely that this team might actually get the ball back, I think would just be great for the sport of football. Keep everyone in the game. And that way, again, you're never out of it. Like when you have to start resorting to, onside kicks, like you said, you kind of feel like you're out of the game, especially with the low chance that you actually get it. And this 4th and 15 just gives a little more liveliness to it.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how I think they need 24 of the 32 owners to vote yes to pass the rule. I'm not sure if that's right, but I think that's what I read. So I don't know if it passes. It'll be really interesting to kind of see how it pans out. Again, I've said this like a million times. I'm not opposed to introducing an alternative to an onside kick for the sake of making the game more interesting and making it easier for that losing team to have a chance to make a comeback run. But I just think a 4th and 15 as it stands now, doesn't present an equal opportunity for some teams versus others. It's going to be easier for some teams than it is for others. And I don't know. I think the idea is in the right direction. I just think it needs to be made more difficult because, again, Patrick Mahomes is like a day ago was on Twitter saying 4th and 15 is too easy, basically. So I don't know. But if it passes, it'll be really interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, just make it more exciting, and you can't argue with that.
Yep.
Well, right now on Sided, 44% of users say they hate it, 40% say they love it, and 14% say other. So everyone get out on Sided, vote for your opinion because we have a close one right now.